Okay, let's begin. Make sure you have your props ready. I have 3 blocks here. You could also use blankets or maybe books or something that you have around the house if you don't have blocks. We're going to start by sitting up nice and tall. Let's just roll the shoulders in backward circles a few times just to loosen up the shoulder joints. Starting to feel the body this morning, this snowy morning. I was very surprised this morning when I walked out into my yoga space, and I think my jaw literally dropped when I saw it. I guess I just maybe wasn't watching the weather or something, but I was kind of surprised at the snow. So let's sit up nice and tall. Let the hands rest wherever it's comfortable. Now, if it's too much to sit like this, which is fine, you could always lean on a wall or lay down for this part of the class. We're just going to be doing our breathing and our focusing. So lift your chest up just a bit to open up your lungs and let your shoulders relax. So your spine is this trunk holding up the branches. Close your eyes softly. Start to tune in. Feel the breath by your nose going in and out. Feel the body wherever it's touching the ground. This is the earth practice. This is the practice we need right now in these times of uncertainty. And as you notice the breath going in and out through the rings of the nose, there's a sensation, a vibration that's created there. And this is called Anapana meditation, just to be aware of breath going in, the sensation it creates, and breath going out. Feel it just below your nose. So let's stay here for 1 more minute. Remember, this is a 90-minute class. If you're not used to 90-minute classes, this is such a gift that you're giving yourself this morning. That extra half hour, maybe 15 minutes, can really make a huge difference. We're just settling into the present for a moment. Here, being aware of the breath as our anchor to the present moment, to this body. Good. Now let's just softly begin to pull the breath into the abdomen. So as you inhale, feel your belly expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly muscles in. Breathing in, feel your belly expand. And breathing out, draw the belly muscles in. Let's continue like this, please. It's like you're feeding a baby bird. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself through this practice this morning. So we're waking up our second chakra, the Svadhisthana. This is your emotional and creative center. Maybe you felt your creativity has been super strong lately. Maybe you feel stunted in your creativity. This is going to help open up those channels. Let your emotions flow, guys. Whatever it is that you're experiencing. Now, second part of the breathing, we're going to breathe in and out of the rib cage. So on your inhale, feel the ribs expand, and on your exhale, just relax. Do it again, breathing in, ribs expanding. Hi, Lola. Breathing out, ribs relaxing. So Lola dropped in just to say, hey, namaste, have a good class. So ribs stretching intercostal muscles between the rib bones, third chakra. right? The Manipura, our personal power center. So the universe is asking us to step into our power. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Let's let yoga be our healing this time. Meditation, breathing, love, compassion. Now we're going to move into that right now. Let's inhale into the chest, feel it rise, and exhale, feel it fall. A couple more times on your own. Now we're waking up that heart center, that place of love and compassion. So imagine that beautiful emerald green light glowing in your heart center. Breathing in, expanding that light, breathing out, relaxing into it for yourself. Self-love, self-care, being challenged here, right? We have lots of time with ourselves, for ourselves. So taking this time today for you. Now let's connect those three parts together. We're going to fill the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. We're going to empty opposite: chest, ribs, belly draws back. Filling bottom to top like a glass, and emptying top to bottom like a glass. So the belly draws back just gently at the bottom of the exhale, and that allows the breath to be just pushed out. Any stale air that might be trapped there will be released. Okay, a few more rounds on your own, please. And then we'll set the intention for our class. So while you're breathing here, think about what you want, what you need today to feel happy, to feel free. Right? The way you see things is the way they are. So let's see things in a different way today. Let's open up the arms, palms up. As you inhale, slowly reach your hands together over your head. And as you exhale, float the hands down to your heart center, touching the thumbs against the breastbone. Bow your head forward to yourself for stepping on your mat today. Now, what is it that you need? What is it that you want? Ask for it. Dream big. They say you should reach for the moon, you'll at least get a star. And I'm asking that all of your intentions be met today with ease and grace. Say thank you for what you're asking for. Hands to the forehead to touch. Thoughts will be there today, but they're not who you are. They're just thoughts. So watch your thoughts all day long. Be the witness. Hands to the heart center. How about a nice, beautiful Om? Breathe in. Oh. Now a cleansing breath, meaning we breathe in through the nose, we exhale from the side. Inhale. Good. Now we're ready to begin. Let's bring the hands forward, knees on your blanket. And I'd like you to have your blanket wider than your mat. So this is how the blanket is laid out if you're not familiar with this class. It's across the very center of your mat, so you have plenty of space behind you and in front of you. Let's come to the hands and knees. So the hands are flat and the fingers are spread out like rays of sunshine, like my teacher used to say. And then middle finger pointing to the top of the mat. Let's get the knees hip distance on the blanket. Now on your inhales, you're going to tilt your tail up. You're going to lift your chin and really feel the throat chakra opening. On your exhales, tail down, back up, chin tucked in, working on your thyroid gland. Breathing in, tail and chin go up. Breathing out, tail and chin go down. And just continue like that, nice and slow and steady at your own pace. Now remember, we're just starting. It's early. The body might be a little tighter than normal, so please be patient with yourself. Breathe in love. Breathe out fear. Let it go here. Good. Now I think we're going going to start today's class, because I've been trying to make them different every time I make a new video. I'm going to start today's class with thread the needle. So let's lift the right arm up, opening the chest to the right, and then take that right arm, slide it right behind the left wrist with the palm up. So your right shoulder is going to come to the ground, and the right side of your face or head. Now check it out, my hips are over my knees here. There's a gap between my body and my thighs for the spine to twist and open. If you need more pressure, because in each pose today, we're going to try to work at a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. We don't want it any harder than that. It'll be too hard to relax and stay for long enough to get the benefits. The breath is a good indicator if you're working at a good place. If you can softly breathe in and out comfortably, you're doing okay. Now, if you do need more pressure in the thread the needle pose, feel free to lift the left arm, the top arm up, and maybe bring it behind your back. You can also place the left hand on top of the right hand, interlace the fingers like you're holding someone's hand tight, and then try to straighten both arms. And that's going to pull that left shoulder back as well. If it's too strong, you can keep your left hand in front of you and just kind of incubate in the poses today. And as you stay in the pose and relax and breathe, the tension just naturally starts melting away. As long as you feel like you're working at that 5. Okay, we're going to stay here for a little longer, allowing the shoulder and the upper back to open. So this is great for all of your spinal twists and your other types of yoga classes. I like to call this checking your blind spot pose, because it gives you that range of motion to turn and look over your shoulders with your neck and your upper back and shoulders. Nice work. Okay, we're going to rewind this now. So left hand goes back in front of your face, flat, and then you just push down through your left hand, pull the right arm up, and then step the right foot back. Okay, so now we're in this easy version of side plank. So you can let your top arm just fall back, you can let your head hang. Do what feels good today. Breathe. Feel your breath. You can also bring the arm over your ear like this if this feels better or just different, it feels good. This is what we're tuning into as we tap into our intuition today. What feels good? The sensation, the feeling, that's intuition. So we get beyond the intellect, right? At the end of the Yoga Sutras, the Heart Sutra rather, it says, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Para Sam Gate. Bodhisattva, and this means going beyond the intellect. Good. Now, as we drop it down, we're going to slide into swan, so no worries, we're not going into dragon first thing. Let's slide the right knee up to the right wrist, wiggle the right toes past the left knee, and then just let your right hip fall out to the right side of the mat. Now, I'm going to turn towards you so I can show you the lineup better. The right thigh should be lined up with the right side of your mat, and the right shin is lined up with the top of the mat. And then the left knee, I'll turn this way now, is bent out to the side of the room. This is going to allow the front leg to relax enough for you to go deep into this pose. If you have your legs stretched back prematurely, it's going to be too difficult. Now this is going to be a 10-minute hold, you guys, and maybe you've done 10-minute holds with this pose before. Then great, you're used to this. If not, I just want to say, go into it slowly over time. Don't rush into this posture when it's this long, okay? Now, find your first edge. So where is that sweet discomfort point? You can use your blocks in front of you if being up high isn't enough. If you are staying high, maybe using the blocks like this under your elbows. If you are needing more pressure and you want to fold forward over your front leg, then just start moving forward with your body until you feel the body pushing back. That's going to be your first edge, and you want to honor that, especially in a long hold like this. So the blocks can be sideways like this. I like to put another one, a third block, straight up and down, and then I can just rest my forehead on that block, whether the blocks are flat or sideways. I'll give you the time as we go through it. We're coming up onto the first minute. So let's find the breath as we enter the pose. We find the first edge. Once we find the edge, the second principle is to become still. So relax, be still, breathe, enjoy this time with yourself, for yourself this morning, or today, or whenever you're watching this video. Okay, so now we're going to practice the witnessing of the thinking, sensing of the body. So we draw the senses inward. That's called pratyahara in the 8-limb system of yoga. So senses inward, think. Let your thoughts go through your mind like clouds through the sky, but bring your attention to the present, where your breath is, where the sensation is. And then notice the sensation, notice the breathing. Those are present moment awareness tools. Feel your breath below your nose, just like the beautiful snow that's falling outside right now. Let it be soft and sweet, gentle, like a breeze. So just so you can pace your pose, I'll give you the time as we go through these postures. It's been 3 minutes so far, so we still have 7 left. If it's really strong right now, it might be a good idea to back out a little bit so you can stay for the remaining time, which is the third principle. If you're good, stay where you are. If it's easy, you go in a little bit at a time. That's called playing your edge. Remember, we're breathing peace into the body with each inhale. Breathing out what we don't need with each exhale, whatever that might be today for you. Stress or tension, heaviness, negativity, maybe frustration with the situation. Do whatever you need. Take care of yourself. If you can breathe down low into your belly, do that. Not forcefully, but gently. And as you breathe out, just relaxing, pushing out that stale air gently again. You just hit our halfway mark, guys, so make your intuitive adjustments. Remember, this is outer rotation. Big for the IT band, piriformis muscle, TFL, that lays in the belly of the IT band. For your lunging postures like warrior 2, side angle, triangle in the hot yoga class. Continue to breathe and relax. For anyone that's not feeling it enough, if you're all the way down over your front thigh, like this, and you're not feeling it enough anymore, and there's nowhere else to go, that's when you start sliding your back foot back a little at a time. So the back knee starts stretching out behind you. Very little at a time though, just an inch at a time, until maybe one day you can turn your knee down and relax in that full extension. Front leg still in 90 degrees, front leg still relaxed completely. Body laying over the thigh. 3 more minutes, guys, let's breathe. Try to breathe like a sea turtle. Nice slow breath in, long and deep, nice slow breath out. Each exhale. Just 90 seconds. Two more breaths. Breathe in love. Breathe out what you don't need. Breathe in peace. Now let's start to rise. Just use your hands to push up. Lean to the right and bring your back leg out front. Just let both legs stretch out in front of you. Good. You're probably feeling something down the right side of your thigh. That's good. Try to relax that area of your body for a few more breaths so the blood and energy can just kind of flush through wherever it's tense, pushing through the meridian channels as well. Placing your feet flat, hands behind your back, start to let your knees tip side to side like windshield wipers. Nice and slow. Now reverse tables next, but if that's too strong for you, please feel free to do bridge pose instead. Reverse table, fingers face forward, sideways, or back, whichever feels best for your wrists. Feet are hip distance, and you slowly lift with control as far as you can go up. You can stay here, or if you'd like more pressure, let your head dangle back, opening up the throat chakra and the Vishuddha. If you're in bridge, lift the hips, push your feet down. Here in reverse table, lock the muscles around your arm bones. Now we'll all slowly come down. We are going to go to our backs, and you might want to bring a block in case you need it. So just lay back for a sec. You can lift up to bridge here, place a block underneath your hips or lower back-ish, and then bring the legs straight up. And this is called candlestick or stairway to heaven. Second option, much stronger of course, is snail pose. So just like getting into plow, except for we keep the hips lower. So just swing your hips up, catch your hips with your hands. You can also use a block here, like you wedge it into the space between the back and the floor and just let your body rest against it. I do this with my private clients. And let your legs just hang over your head. You can also use your hands if you don't have a block or it just doesn't work for you. Now in snail, please keep your chin up. Let your legs relax. Let your upper back round in this pose. This is for your spine. But try not to bring too much weight to your neck at all. Keep the chin up. Keep breathing. Now, to come out of the candlestick pose, just go back to bridge, put your feet down, lift the hips, take the block out, and then lift the legs, rock yourself up to seated, holding on behind the thighs. To come from your snail, just simply let the hips go, hold on behind your legs, and rock up. Okay, let's take a pause, shake out the hands after that 10-minute hold, and those other poses. Feel the upper back from your thread the needle, maybe roll the shoulders again. All right, let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale. Now we're going to switch gears and go into dragon on the same side so we can continue to work with that right hip. Okay, so let's come back to the top of the mat with all three blocks if you have them. And begin again with cats and cows. Nice and slow, up and down, breathing in and breathing out. Make sure your knees are in the middle of your blanket, because if you slide your knee back during this next posture, you don't want it to come off of the blanket onto the hardness of the floor or mat. A few more rounds of cats and cows. And then what we're going to do is we're going to step the left foot forward because we want to work on the right leg, right? So take a block in each hand and take a step forward with your left foot. So I take a step forward, it looks like this, maybe like my knee is right on underneath my hip. And what I want to do is step a little bit forward more, so when I do lean into it, my knee is over my front ankle. Okay, so wherever your body stops, that's where you want to use a block to prop it. So if it stops here, lift up a little, put the block in, lean back onto that block, and hopefully that works for you. Another way I've seen students do it is at the side like this on an angle. So if that works for you, please do it that way. And then let's begin. We're starting with high dragon. This is why we have the blocks straight up and down like this. And we'll only be here for a minute. Your back toes can curl under like mine are to protect your back knee more. Or if you want more intensity, top of the foot on the floor. Let's breathe, everyone. Now to make this one stronger, because I want to make sure you know how to make it stronger or lighter, so you can play your edge in each pose. To make it stronger, you just walk the blocks back further, arch the chest more, maybe even dropping the head back slightly. And of course, making it easier is the opposite. So you would just move the blocks more forward, bringing your chest closer to that front thigh. We're working on the hip flexors and quads, as you can probably feel in the front of the back leg. This is where your stomach and spleen channels lay, meridian channels that feed your internal organs. Couple more breaths. Remind yourself today in class, aniche, aniche. This is all temporary. Everything we're experiencing right now, it's all temporary. The sensation is temporary. So now we're going to make a shift to baby. We don't have to bring the hips back. We just lay over the front leg. See, my hips don't move. You can move the blocks out of the way if you don't need them and place your hands on either side of the left foot. You could also put elbows on blocks on either side of the front foot. If your hands don't touch the ground easily, flat blocks usually work. Let's breathe 1 minute. So this one's probably the easiest out of the three that we're doing today. So you're welcome to stay here if this is strong enough for you. And then come back again tomorrow and do the same class. Well, different class. I'll do a different order of poses each day. But similar postures, working these 4 directions of your hips: inner, outer rotation, flexion, and extension. Improving the range of motion of our hip joints. Now, if you want more pressure, and that's not necessary, please honor yourself this morning. You can pile up 2 blocks like this. See, I have them sideways piled up, placing them inside my foot, and elbows can go on those blocks. If you feel like your left knee is kind of in the way for your left shoulder, just step the left foot over to the left slightly to make room for it. Okay, we have about 2 minutes left, so let's breathe through that together. Inhaling peace, exhaling what I don't need this morning, letting the tension melt away naturally, not forcefully. Connective tissue is plastic in nature, so it needs time to realign the fibers that may be tangled up. That's what makes you feel tight and stops energy from flowing through the tissue. It could be from injury or just simply stress. Let your breath be your music this morning. Feel it going in and out, that life force energy. Celebrate your breath. Just 1 more minute to go. This one, if it gets too strong at any point, you can just kind of pull your hips back an inch. That should take the pressure off, but we only have 1 more breath. Just remember for the next side. Good. Now we're going to pull the hips back softly until we don't feel the pressure. We don't need to move the front foot or the back knee. We do need to move the blocks though. Okay, let's hang here for a second. Unless you want to have one of your hands on a block, that's fine. And you actually might need a block for the next pose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide the left foot back to table. We're gonna slip into shoelace for just a minute or two. So let me show you how to do that. We want the right knee to be on top, because that's already been stretched deeply in the outer rotation. The left one has not. Put the right knee in the middle of your mat, and I'm gonna turn a different way for you to see in a second. Left leg stretches back, and then we tuck the left knee on the outside of the right knee. So see how it comes behind and on the outside. Then I'm gonna spread my feet out. Watch out, Lola. I'll turn this way. See how I took my left knee, I put it behind my right knee, I spread my feet out, and then I crawl back, and I sit either on a block or on the mat. So feet are on either side of the hips, opposite sides of the hips, I should say. Knees are stacked, and you might not look like this. It's okay. Be on a block. That's going to make it much easier. Now, if that's still too difficult, straighten the bottom leg. That'll make it much easier. You can sit on the floor or a block, okay? Let's stay here and breathe in shoelace. This is a double outer rotation, which means the second side of this pose is going to be easier, because at that point, you would have stretched both thighs in outer rotation for 10 minutes. At this point, it's only the right leg that's had that experience so far. Let's breathe. And I'll give you some options for your arms if you're comfortable. If you're struggling with your legs, please just sit, meditate on relaxing the muscles of your legs. If you're pretty comfortable here, we have a couple options. You're welcome to do eagle arms, maybe bringing right knee under right elbow under left elbow. For the first time, since we do have the right knee on top, that's one way you can remember easily. Palms to face each other, thumbs towards your face. Left elbow over right, wind the wrists up and gently pull down. That's option one. Another option would be to take a side bend for lateral flexion to the right. Since the right knee's on top, we want to make sure we go to the right. Because look what happens if I go to the left. If I go to the left, see how my right hip just flies right off the floor. So we want to stay nice and grounded through the hips as we take our side bend. You can use a block under your elbow, or maybe your elbow goes right to the floor. And then option three would be to fold forward over your front legs, which would make it much harder, stronger. So please make sure you're doing that on purpose, because you need more pressure to be at your thigh. Okay, we're halfway, guys. Keep breathing. Do what feels good. You can let your head hang if you're in the side stretch, getting a nice stretch in your sternocleidomastoid muscles on the left side of your neck. Maybe you've been sitting at your computer more than normal, or in front of the TV on the couch, not getting as much movement in your life as you're used to. This is a great way to stretch all that tension out. Remember, you can move through those three options. You don't have to just choose one. Couple more breaths. Breathe in slow, breathe out, let go. Feel your body. Now let's slowly rise. If you're folding forward, come out slowly. Please use your hand to take that top leg off. We don't want to fling the leg off. We don't want to damage the knee tissue. Let the leg stretch in front of you again. And just close your eyes. Notice what you're feeling right now. What's the sensation like after shoelace pose? Okay, let's take a deep breath. Inhale. All right, let's get ready for the second side of those two postures. Those are the longest postures, actually 3, right? So those are the longest postures. After we're done with this section, we'll only have 2 shorter postures left. So let's begin again. Hands and knees, cats and cows, table pose up and down, nice and slow. Knees on the blanket, fingers spread out like rays of sunshine. Wiggle your body around, get your wiggles out. Any way that feels good right now. Okay, now left side will thread the needle. Pause, make sure hips are over knees and wrists are underneath shoulders. Lift the left arm on your inhale. Slide it behind the right wrist with the palm up, letting the left shoulder slowly touch the ground. Okay? And then we're going to hang out here, making sure the left palm is up. You can use your right hand in front of you or bring the right arm up and stretch it behind you. So remember, you're searching for your 5 in each pose. Hips are on top of the knees here, so you can relax and breathe. We'll stay here for 2 minutes and really open up the left shoulder and the upper back. The neck, wherever you might be feeling it. Maybe in your ribs. Now the idea in yin is to relax, to let go, to just melt into the pose at that 5. So make sure you're not using too much effort. Another option is to place right hand on left, interlace the fingers, and then try to straighten your top arm. That's going to pull the top shoulder back and increase the twist in your upper spine, your thoracic. So a few more breaths. Okay, now we're going to rewind. Right hand in front of the face flat. Push it down, sweep the left arm up, and then step the left foot back this time. Okay, so we're on the right hand is under the shoulder, the right knee is under the right hip. Right toes can be behind you, like a kickstand. Left foot's flat, and then we can just let the left arm fall back. Let the head dangle. What feels good right now? Check in with your breath. Remember, arm can go over ear as well. That feels good. Now as we come down to table, we're going to slide the left knee up for the other side of swan. Remember, left knee forward, left toes wiggle to the right, and then we just let the left hip fall over to the side. Pull your right knee up, and then pull your left foot up. So you want your foot across from the knee, shin is lined up with the top of the mat, and thigh with the side of the mat. Okay, now relax everything. 10-minute hold. As you begin, you're searching for your first edge. Where is the beginning of my pose? I can crawl forward to make it stronger. I can come up higher to make it easier. Okay, the clock is running. Let's find that first edge, but really important that the muscles stay relaxed. If the muscles engage, then they take on the pressure of the pose. Instead of the ligament that connects your bones, the fascia around the joint capsule, the bone itself gets strengthened through this practice. So beginning where you are this morning without any expectations.
without any preconceived notions of how far you're going to go or not go. Just be in the moment with your breath, your body. Making your intuitive adjustments along the way as you play your edge. This outer rotation posture. Piriformis muscle, getting a nice stretch across the side and hip. Maybe in your bum you're feeling it. And remember, if you need more pressure, just lower down deeper. Once you're all the way down, can't go further, that's when I'd like you to start adjusting your back knee. If you do that prematurely, you may start rolling out to the left and just making it harder for yourself to relax. Stay with your breath, stay present. Maybe you notice, like I just did, that my front leg, some muscles start to tighten a little bit, and just checking in with that, making sure that you come back to relaxation in these poses in the area, especially of the body that we're working, which is our hip and thigh area. So try to relax your stomach too, so you can breathe a little deeper. We're almost halfway there already. Keep breathing. 4 minutes left, guys. Keep relaxing. Come out a little bit if it gets too strong. Go in a little if it gets too easy. Otherwise, remain still. Get the benefits by being still, quiet, breathing. Just 2 minutes to go. Just like with meditation, it's not that important what's happening inside. Maybe right now you're struggling inside, your thoughts are going wild. That's okay, but later on, just like when we meditate, it's later on, after the practice, how we feel after the practice is what's really going to feel different. We'll feel more calm, our body will be more relaxed, we'll feel more centered and balanced. 1 more minute to go. Keep breathing. Okay, we're going to start to rise. Take your time, just gently lifting your body up. Bringing your back leg out front. And let your legs relax. See what you're feeling in that left leg. Let the energy flush through just by getting still just for a few moments. Take a few deep breaths. Then place your feet flat, hands behind you, and just let your knees tip side to side, nice and slowly. Reverse table or bridge, same as before, same as the first side. Whichever pose serves you, that's the one you want to do. Take care of yourself here. Be nice to your body, kind, loving. Squeeze your bum, push down through hands, lock the muscles around the arms. Keep your knees tracking over the ankles. When you're done, you're going to sit. Again, we're going to lay back this time, though, for happy baby. So hug your knees in first and rock side to side, massaging your lower back. Hold on behind your knees, spreading the knees out, and then bring your feet up like you're standing on the ceiling in a squat. Then reach up. What can you reach without lifting your hips or your head? So maybe you're gonna hold the ankles, you're gonna maybe hold behind your knees with your wrists. But if you can reach the outside edge of your feet without lifting up, grab there with just your fingertips. And then get your arms out of the way so your knees can come down around your rib cage. And then maybe gently rocking side to side if you're comfortable. Otherwise, just stay still. Notice how much more open your hips are already. Okay, we're going to bring the legs straight up in the air, move the feet around a bit, and then hold on behind the legs and rock ourselves back up to seated. Sit up tall, shake your hands out, close your eyes, noticing how you feel now. Let's take a cleansing breath together. Inhale. Ah. All right, let's go back to table for our second sided dragon and shoelace. So back to hands and knees. Remember, knees on the blanket. You can double up the blanket if you need more support. Have your blocks at the top of the mat ready for your dragon pose. So just a couple movements in our cows and our cats. Beautiful. All right, let's get a block in each hand. This time we're going to step the right foot up, right? Right foot forward because we're working on the left leg, the back leg. Let the hips sink into it. Check out your front knee. Make sure it's tracking right over your front ankle. Hands on blocks. The third block can be placed in front of the back knee. All right, lean onto it. Lift your chest. And I'll start the clock. This is a 5-minute hold today. Some days we're going to hold it for 6. And then maybe do our shoelace pose and dragon together, and then a shorter outer rotation of swan, longer frogs. Maybe we'll do this week a dangling pose against the wall in one of our live classes. So I'm going to mix it up and add in some poses that we don't typically do in my 60-minute classes because we just don't have time. All right, let's stay here for another minute. Feel the front of your left thigh stretching and opening, releasing your lumbar. If you look down at your mat, make sure that your right foot's on the right and your left knee's on the left, that you didn't step right in front of your back knee. You want to keep the hips side by side square. Remember, you can make it stronger. You can make it easier. Take care of yourself. Find your edge, 30 seconds. Okay, good. Now we're going to lay over the front leg if that works for you. Hands can be on either side of the foot. If you need to have space for your chest, just move your chest on the inside and wrap your arm around that knee instead. Maybe a block goes under elbow, outside or inside front foot. Okay, let's stay here for another minute or so, or maybe the rest of the pose, depending on how you're feeling this morning. And if you're planning on attending all the classes this week, or several classes in a row throughout the week, that's a good way to really improve your flexibility range of motion in a short period of time. To do it consistently and to work at your 5 in every class, you'll really start to see the changes happen quickly when you're doing it that much every day for maybe a whole week. I'll be here, hopefully you will be too. Now, if you do need more pressure, blocks inside the left foot this time. Remember, I had them piled up sideways like this. I'll show you again. And you can start there, and then if it's too easy, lower down. Please make sure you're bringing your hips down with your shoulders. You're not keeping your butt in the air like this, right? Let your hips come down, because if you're up that high, you really should still be in baby dragon. that will serve you better. 2 minutes left, guys. Let's breathe. Concentrate, meditate, developing our dharana today, our concentration, which means our consciousness, our awareness is being developed, our focus, our meditation. 1 more minute. Breathe like a sea turtle. They only breathe 4 breaths per minute. So really just trying to slow your breathing pattern down, these poses. It's very good for your aging process. It starts to reverse it according to my first teacher. Mataji, she was 73, could put both feet behind her head. Age has nothing to do with it. It just matters how you're taking care of yourself, how you're eating enough water, sleep. Practices like this. We have 30 seconds to go. Keep on breathing. This is improving our back bends, this posture in particular. Whether it's wheel or bridge or standing bow, dancers, or Dhammarasana on the floor. Now we're going to ease the hips out of the pose again. Just floating the hips back slowly until you don't feel the pressure. Stay there. It doesn't matter what it looks like in this class. What matters is how does it feel. The sensation guides your practice. All right, let's take it back to table. We'll get into the second side of our shoelace. This time the left knee will be on top. So left knee in the middle of the mat, and I'm going to turn this way, my butt towards you just so you can see. Left knee in the middle, right leg stretches back and wraps behind the left knee tight. Spread the feet out, take your block in case you need it, and then plop your bum down on the block or the floor. Now I make it look easy, but when I first started doing yoga back with Mataji in 1996, there's no way I could get into this pose. Hardly at all. So please be patient with yourself. This is a 3-minute hold. Nice, steady breaths in and out through your nose. Relaxing the legs and feet first. Once they're relaxed, maybe you add on an eagle with the left elbow under the right. A side bend to the left with your blocks. Or forward folding if that feels good. Halfway there. Few more breaths here in shoelace pose, double outer rotation, gallbladder meridians down the side of the legs being stimulated. Again, the piriformis muscle that wraps around to the back. I think it gets a little bit stronger of a pull in this pose as opposed to the shoelace, or the swan rather. Okay, let's start to come up. Now come out of these poses very slowly and calmly. We don't want to jerk the tissue that we were just working on. So that's why I suggest using your hands to take that top foot off. And just let the leg stretch in front of you again. Notice how you feel. Vibration, sensation, heat. Let's put the feet flat and let the knees tip side to side. So hopefully you're feeling really good already. We just have 2 shorter poses left. Okay. Take a pause, close your eyes, breathe in. So I think we're gonna hop into frog next. And so let's get the blocks set up. You are gonna have 2 blocks, again, like we had it in dragon. And that's gonna be underneath your table pose. The 3rd block will be at the top of your mat in case you need it for your forehead. This is the reason we have the blanket wider than the mat. So come into your table, so you're right over your blocks, moving your blocks back so they're kind of underneath your ribs or your stomach. And the knees are gonna stay underneath the hips as you put your elbows down where your hands were. So see how my hips did not fall forward when I came to my elbows? They didn't sit back. Keep them right there on top of your knees. Now start to slide the knees apart on your wide blanket until your body rests against those blocks. So see, now I'm completely resting on my blocks. You might need to adjust them to bring them underneath the ribs. That's where I like to have them. It's more comfortable. The 3rd block can go underneath your forehead. Now this is a 5-minute hold, okay? But there's only one side of this pose. So we're doing both sides at once. So if you want to make this one stronger, I'll tell you now, and then you can do it whenever you need more intensity. You can separate your feet a little bit, but only as wide as the knees. So please glance and make sure you're not bringing your feet out wider than your knees. You can turn your toes out. To make it stronger, to make it a little easier, you slide your feet closer together like this with your toes pointing towards each other. And that's going to take the pressure off the knees and the hips. Okay, let's keep breathing. It's been about 30 seconds. And I'll just show you, if it's already feeling too easy for your inner thighs and you want more pressure, you can turn your blocks sideways like this. I like to do 2 sideways. It gives me a wider platform to rest my body against. And then you'll probably want to lower down the block under your forehead as well. That's our first minute. We have 4 to go. Let's enjoy this inner rotation as we stimulate the kidney and liver meridians in the inner thighs and wake up our root chakra. This is our earth chakra, the first chakra that's developed while we're still in the womb. So this is our foundation. This is what's being shaken right now, right? So we're making it strong, solid as we ground ourselves through the practice of yin yoga. See the thought that comes before the movement and decide, do I really need to move right now? It might just be a distraction in your mind. Let it go, come back to your breath below your nose. 2 minutes to go, guys. Just keep breathing. This is great for all your lunging postures like warrior two, side angle Parsvakonasana for your triangle in your hot yoga class. Any wide forward folds with your legs apart, standing or seated. Upavista Konasana, for example. And of course, this is good for saddle pose. It'll help you sit down between your feet and you're fixed firm. Your saddle pose in Yin Yoga. One more nice slow breath in. And slow breath out. Now you're gonna arch back your body up by getting onto your elbows. Try not to move your knees at all. Just get those blocks out of the way. Legs are still the same, and then just start to crawl forward. Slowly laying your body against the earth. And then let your legs stretch out behind you carefully and slowly. And let's be still for a moment. See how you feel now. Good. So legs back together, prop up onto your elbows. And let your toes be pointed. Feet are together. And tops of the feet are on the floor, the toenails, okay? So elbows under shoulders, hands can be flattened together. We'll start here for a few breaths and see how it goes. Check in with your body, just noticing how you feel right now. Okay, now if you want more pressure, take a block, place it underneath each elbow, like this, flat. And that's gonna lift you up, the 4 inches of these blocks. I think they're 4 or 5 inches tall. Probably just 4. And then lift up. So if you come to the higher version, push down through your elbows, pull up through your ribs so you don't over-compress your lumbar spine. Make sure you're breathing. You might see me rocking side to side. I always do that automatically in this pose. It just feels good on my sacrum. Now the third version, we need to go back down to the elbows, back to the first position. Hands are flat. We're gonna lock the legs, squeeze the butt, and lift the arms, or lift the elbows. So hands stay up in front with this one. I see a lot of people walking their hands back, making it into up dog. This is different. This is called seal. The first shape was called Sphinx. But make sure you're pushing down, lifting up. You're tilting your tail down by squeezing your butt. Lock your legs, tops of the feet push down. Otherwise, stay in one of the other ones, right? Don't make this into a contest. And when you're done, please go back to the floor and turn your head to the other side so your neck gets an even stretch. Breathe. All right, hands under shoulders, push up to table. We're gonna sit on the feet next to counter that back bend with a forward fold. We'll do our dangling pose next. So just come seated on your feet if that's comfortable. If it's too strong to sit on your feet, tops of feet are tight, put a block between your feet or maybe 2 blocks. All right, let's hang here, let the body acclimate to this stretch in the feet.
Bringing the legs up in the air every day is excellent for your feet and legs to keep them healthy and feeling light, especially if you're sitting more than normal. Now, those of you that are sitting directly on the feet without a block and you feel like you could take more pressure to be at your 5, you can put your hands behind you and slowly lift your knees off the floor. Now, I'm not yanking my knees up, right? I'm not pulling them off the floor. They're just simply floating up off the floor, right? Because I'm leaning back because they're so open. So maybe they'll just come up a little bit today, like that, right? So don't try to look like someone else. Listen to your body, take care of yourself. Now, second position, we'll bring the knees down and curl the toes under. It might be better to be on your sticky mat for this one. I'm just going to move my blanket forward and be on my sticky mat with my toes curled under. This is called toe stretch. I think my teacher calls it toe squat. I call it toe stretch. And hands can stay in front of you. Maybe your hips are here, right? Because it's too intense on the knees or hips or feet. Find your own way. Now, I'd like you to have a block close by for our forward fold, just in case you decide to try it and it might feel good for you. So what we're going to do is lift the knees off the floor first and come into a little squat like this. And you can keep your fingertips on the ground. And I'm stretching out my calf muscles. I like to fold forward and let my head hang here. And that feels really good on my calf muscles. Some people like to step it wide like this and do yoga squat. But find what works good. Remember, in yoga squat, you can put a block underneath your bum to make it easy. But we're not teaching that one. I'm not teaching that one today, just an option. All right, we're going to make our way to standing as gracefully as possible. You can have your block in front of you. I want you to put your hands on your knees and bend your knees slightly. Your feet are flat, they're hip distance apart. Okay, so make sure your feet feel nice and grounded. Remember our cows and our cats? I want you to do a couple cows and cats. And then you're going to tilt your tail up and keep it up and put your elbows on your knees. So instead of rounding like this, I want you to do the opposite. I want you to drop your ribs. Tilt your tail up so you feel this in your hamstrings. Now my elbows are holding my torso up. So make sure you've got a good place for your elbows, that you feel comfortable. Now if you're not dizzy at all, you can let your head hang, shake it out a little bit, let your neck relax, shake your head yes and no if that feels nice on your neck. Make sure you're breathing. Now, the option with the block would be to take the block and kind of put it against the thighs. You might need to get your feet a little closer, and then just rest your body against the block, and then you can just hold opposite elbows. Remember, you can always bend your knees more or less in this pose as you practice taking care of yourself. The third option would be to lay the chest and body right against the legs and hold opposite elbows again, if that feels nice. That might feel like your edge today. Remember, we're all searching for our own edge without comparisons or competition. Now, this is a 3-minute hold, and we've already been in it for 1 minute, so only 2 minutes to go. Please keep using your breath. Good. Relaxing your jaw and your forehead. Maybe bringing the weight back towards the heels, lifting the toes off the floor and spreading them out lightly, placing them back down. So we're not gripping the floor with the toes. Halfway there, 90 seconds to go. This is our last hip opening pose. We'll take a short Shavasana and move back into our day from a place of awareness and peace and gratitude. Good, 60 seconds left. Use your breath. Remember, you can adjust by bending the knees more or less. Maybe you feel this in your quads, the tops of your thighs. Nothing is wrong. That's just where you're holding tension today.
And as you continue holding and breathing and relaxing, that tension will start to peel away. So do your best to make small adjustments. Try not to come out early. Just 30 seconds left. No big deal. Remember what Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Tell yourself, I've got this. Good, just 2 more breaths. Breathe. Slow and deep. Smooth and steady. 1 more breath. And then just softly crawl forward, placing your knees on your blanket, sitting on your feet, and then bowing to your beautiful self. Thank you, body. I love you, body. Thank you, body. Take a rest. All right, we're gonna make our way into our Shavasana. Now, I like to do, we have 5 minutes left of class, perfect timing. So we can do 3 minutes on our blocks. So if you have blocks, I'd like you to place one sideways like this. It's gonna go behind your chest. The other one can be straight up and down or sideways for the back of your head. So whatever feels good to you. So you'll sit on your blanket or whatever you're sitting on. Put those blocks behind you, and then you can kind of use your hands behind you. Make sure that the block is behind the chest, not in your lower back area. And then the other block goes underneath the head. Okay, so hopefully you can see the props under me and how I'm placing them. See how this is behind my chest. It's not way up by my neck and it's not in my lower back. And then you're welcome to straighten your legs if that feels good. Let the feet fall open. Or maybe the feet are together and the knees are open. Just whatever feels nice. Let's take a deep breath in together. All right, let's rest. This is a great heart-opening posture as we open away from fear and towards love today. Turning towards compassion for ourselves and each other. As we let things be as they are, Yata Bhuta. Then have faith, but it's all temporary anyway. So let your hands and feet relax, your arms and legs. Soften your belly and chest. And swallow to relax your throat. Let your teeth part and relax your tongue. Relax the cheeks and the roof of your mouth, the sky of your body. In your imagination, see a beautiful rain coming down from the roof of the mouth to the pelvic floor, the earth of your body. And let that rain wash away anything today that's not serving you anymore. Any thoughts or feelings, any sensations. Tell yourself no place to go, nothing to do. You're just practicing being right now.
Now, without moving, start to deepen each breath. And feel how much easier it is to breathe into a relaxed body, an open heart and mind. Skim the thumbs across your fingertips. Notice you're more sensitive. This is a good thing. We're more in tune with our intuition. Let's draw the arms towards the ceiling and let them hang back over the head. And just let the arms hang there for a second, opening up the shoulders, feeling the difference in the shoulders. And then let's place the feet flat so the knees are pointed to the ceiling. Let your knees fall to the right or left and just roll off your bolsters onto your side in fetal position. Let's stay here for a moment. Feel the earth below you supporting you. Feel your deeper connection to it now at the end of your yin yoga class. Let's use the hands, push off the ground, bring ourselves up to seated to close our practice out, seated meditation. So maybe now after this class, Sukhasana, which is easy pose, kind of like the pose I'm in now, is good for you. Maybe a half lotus, one foot on top of opposite thigh, or maybe both feet up for a full lotus position. Hands come together at the heart center. Bow your head forward to yourself for being here. And thank yourself for this gift of yoga today, for taking this time to nurture and nourish not just your body, but your spirit and your mind as well. Remember, you deserve it. Deep breath in. Oh. And how about one more cleansing breath together? Inhale. The light in you and me is the same as the light in all beings. See that light in yourself today. Try to see it in everyone you meet. Namaste. See y'all next time. Enjoy your day. Everybody feeling good?
Real good, thank you.
Awesome. Good job, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yoga Lynne.
You're welcome. Glad you got in on it. Oh yeah, there you are. I was worried about you, Denise. I didn't see you on here at first. So hopefully you guys can check in every morning, 9:30. I'm going to be doing a class, so 9:30 to 11. I'm just trying this time slot out, see how it works. So,
Thanks.
so come back.
It worked awesome. Thank you.
Good. Love you, Tressa. Love you, Kate. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye, you guys.
Bye, thank you.
Namaste. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Namaste.